2, God! Tiger 2, 300! Take 2, God! Tiger 2, 300! Take 3, God! Tiger 2, 300! Hey, we lost Cody! Take 2, kill 3! Take 2, kill 3! Red alert to space! Red alert to space! Hey, meter just got a That's it. Ring the bell. Guys, not going to the corner. Shot.
Hello, hello, hello. Welcome. What's up, everybody?
What's up?
How's it going?
How we
Thank you for
doing?
tuning in. This is Infamous Live Show number 14.
Damn.
Yeah, 14. We're getting up there. It's like a regular thing now. I guess.
Yeah.
It's
like a talk show.
Yeah. So thanks for tuning in. If you're on Facebook, make sure you guys share the stream. Let everybody know we're here. Comment, tag some friends, get them in here, and let's get talking. And if you're on YouTube, make sure you guys like the video and subscribe if you can. That'd be great. It'd definitely help us out on YouTube. Today we have two guys you probably wouldn't expect to be on an Infamous show, but we have X Factors, Billy Bernacchia, and Jesse Stevens. Welcome.
What's up, guys? Thanks for having us. It's awesome to be a part of this. Looking forward to the ICC with Infamous coming up at the end of the month. So I think it's good timing to have me on the show for sure. And I know Jesse might be out there as well.
Yep, same here. I just got on with Aggression out of Pennsylvania, so
Okay.
I'll be playing with them as well.
Sweet. That's awesome. Yeah, so, if you guys aren't familiar with who these two dudes are, you've probably been under a rock in the last couple of seasons and tournament paintball in general, but Billy's actually played with Infamous for 10-man, so he is actually an Infamous member, and I actually played with Jesse overseas on Amelia Red Storm, so we were teammates for an event there as well. Actually, roomies too.
Yeah,
that was fun.
Unfortunate we couldn't play more events together.
Yeah.
Don't forget we had a Hurricanes couple tournaments, right? We played on the Hurricanes.
Man, that went by so quick.
It did.
Barely even remember those events. They were so crazy.
That had been like 2009 or 10, maybe.
Yeah, that was
when I was having.
I remember watching.
Yeah, I was having my little Infamous hiatus, and then I played 7-man for a full season, like full time with Arsenal, and I was like not even playing X-Ball, and that's when you guys hit me up and were like, "Let's play," and I'm like, "Cool, let's do it." It was fun.
Arsenal was stacked that year in 7-man. You had Oliver, J-Rab, a lot of good guys. No,
it was a lot. That was a lot of fun because that was kind of like when 7-man, we went to Vegas and we were in California a bunch, and we had a lot of fun.
Yeah, I remember that at SC Village. There was an event at SC Village. We played you guys in the finals. I was playing on Avalanche.
Oh my gosh, that was crazy. You guys basically had us beat.
It came down to a 1-on-1, I think, with Drew B, and I think it was C. Right? Yep. It was him, right? It was
Chris.
Yep.
Yeah, he actually won like a couple, like a 1 or 2. It might have been. I think it was more than a 1-on-1 at first. He pulled it back. I think it might have been a 3-on-1, honestly.
I can't remember. I just remember that it came down to a 1-on-1, and it was Drew B for us, and it was C for you guys, and had Drew B won, we would have went to 1-on-1s because we stalemated the second game. So
yeah,
you guys ended up taking the cake with that win.
That was so that event. I accidentally in the finals shot Oliver.
Oh God!
I was like, oh my God, if we lose this, I'm gonna never forget this. Like when you dive into the snake and like that was that really hard turf, and when I dove, we all had our guns like super tuned up for 7-man to shoot as fast as you possibly shoot.
Yeah.
When I dove in, my trigger and my gun went like just like as I hit the ground, and just happened to have my barrel pointing right towards the middle of the field. And Oliver was up the middle and shot him right in the back.
Damn.
And he just turned around and gave me the death stare. And I was like, I better go down and get some kills. Otherwise, this is not going to be pretty.
Make it happen.
Yeah. You know that season we actually, I think we won like 3 out of 4 events, and we ended up not even winning the series.
Yeah. I think that's the series. Did Dynasty come back and win that series?
No.
Or was that Impact?
I think it was Bob Long.
Correct.
Some other.
I think it was Blast.
Yeah,
I think it was Blast. Yeah.
But
that's crazy though. You'd think you win 3 out of 4 events, you'd be locked in for the whole series.
I was like, no way. I'm not like a mathematician here, but
well, how did you do the 4th event? Did you show up to the 4th event, or
that was where the drama was? We just needed to make it to Sunday, and we had some gun penalties, and we ended up getting like a minus 100. And
yes, I definitely vaguely remember this now. So yeah, that sucks. That's rough especially like after you put in all that time to win 3 tournaments and to get a gun penalty and cost you the whole season. That's rough.
Jeez.
And it wasn't even the dude's fault. Like no one blamed the guy. You know what I mean? Like he was one of our back guys who's holding it down in the corner, shooting as much as he can.
Right.
And like his gun kept going into this weird mode, and got a penalty for it. But
I remember those gun penalties back in the day. I was on the Raiders and we received one. But they had changed the rule back then, and I think we only got a 7-game suspension and had to play with 6.
Really?
And and I think then they changed the rule to you're eliminated and you get a negative 100, which is rough.
Yeah,
that just sucks though when you have some kind of technical difficulty like that. Board short out or something, and ramp the gun up or do whatever. Cough through an entire tournament.
We were all kind of a little suspect behind it because we shot Bob Long guns at the time, so we were like, weird.
And
but
who won
you
the
never
series
know.
Again?
Yeah, exactly.
But
it is what it is. It was our fault.
He had it in his pocket.
Yeah, right. Swapped out.
Activate. Damn.
Crazy. So one of the other things that a lot of people don't really notice or realize, because we have only played one major tournament this year, is that X Factor came on as a pro DNA sponsored team this year, which is a huge deal because everybody's kind of like, whoa, hold on, wait a second. Infamous is promoting X Factor. Well, Infamous is also like becoming its own company, making its own products, having all its own gear. With Travis just being the brains behind that whole operation, and making all these awesome paintball products, which he's done for a long time.
Yeah.
And we were really close with you guys. We practiced you guys a lot and just got to talking. And next thing you know, we have our first sponsored pro team besides Infamous, X Factor.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to get your guys opinion on, and let everybody know that might be tuning in, what you guys like about the gear, and how it's been, for you on the field, and if you had any.
Yeah, I mean, I'll start. I specifically like the elbow pads. I don't think I've ever worn an elbow pad quite like it. As far as comfort and it's almost like a gel material when you're that's actually your padding. So to me, I love the elbow pads. Most comfortable elbow pad that I've worn. And then the sliders, I wear the pants with the knee pads built into it. And I mean, it's just nice as a snake player not to have to bend down and pick your knee pads up, constantly after diving. They don't shift left and right, which is a good thing that protects your knees. So I love it. I mean, I'm glad that we were able to make the deal work, and happy to be a part of it. And I even got to try out some of your other gear for the 10-man, and Travis is definitely doing his thing, and making some good product over there. So props to you guys.
I'm using all the same stuff. I was really gonna say the elbow pads have been absolutely phenomenal. Switching over from those, the fit, everything, they just look good and they feel good, and just all around great stuff.
Same. And I know a lot of our guys, I don't personally wear gloves, but a lot of our guys do wear gloves, and they fit nice and tight, and they're kind of stretchy. So I think, Jesse, do you wear the gloves?
I wear gloves.
I know a lot of the guys really like the gloves.
Yeah, it's just all around. It's everything you want out of a pad. So I would suggest anybody looking out there for something new, maybe, go in that direction.
Yeah, the number one thing that I love about the gear is you always have that one or two things about a piece of gear that you wear that you're like, man, I wish I could just change this or change that. Yeah. And sometimes with the elbow pads, it's like the strap up top, I'm like, yeah. I don't need this right now. As long as it stays good here, I'm all right. And so with these pads, Travis has been able to minimize all those kind of details. And we also take player feedback on stuff, like certain things that guys might not like. So, moving forward with, some tweaks and adjustments here and there, we're all about making sure that it's the best gear that you want to throw on. And I don't know about you guys, but playing on the Texas heat, you want something that's going to breathe.
Yeah, that's another good point. The elbow pads do breathe very well, and another thing that I really like about them is a lot of the times you just have a pad that's covering your elbow, and the padding that you guys use is actually it's pretty wide, and it covers all the way down to your wrist. I mean, it is literally a pad that's covering your whole forearm. And, and it almost feels like a gelled pad. So it's super comfortable and, super durable as well.
Yeah.
It almost doesn't feel like a paintball elbow pad, which is cool.
Yeah. The fit's just great on them, and the material used, whatever it is, it holds up against just about everything, out there in Texas, we're battling everything. That turf gets over 100 degrees. So, it's held up. I'll put it to the test over the past couple months, to be honest, out there getting ready for the ultimate shootout. So
I definitely want to dive into that, talk about some of that stuff here in a little bit. I know that there's first, before we go anywhere else, one of the main reasons why I was like, hey, this would be a great time to get you guys on the show. And I know Jesse's got a lot going on with the ultimate shootout, and then Billy just started doing your Wednesday, what is it, street ball? You call it Wednesday night street ball?
Wednesday night practices, yep.
Yeah, so, obviously with COVID going on and, a lot of fields not even being open for stuff, or people being, not as excited to go out in the public and start playing again, how was your experience? Was this your first one in a while, or?
For me? Yeah, so we started this a few years back. Me and Josh Pike from Upton used to do it, actually. And then last year, some of the NYX guys were running it. And then this year I came back and started doing it. Honestly, yeah, it was rough because all the fields were closed for, a good month. And, we were trying to figure out how we can get back on the field. And when it was finally, cleared to, we can make something happen, I went and talked to the owner, and he was like, "Hey, I want to start Wednesday nights back up. You in?" And I'm like, "Hell yeah, I need to, I want to get back on the field." So it's pretty cool. We do, it's like a street ball style. So you don't necessarily need a team. So there's a bunch of guys that are on teams. There's a bunch of guys that, aren't on teams, and everybody's coming out and playing, and we're mixing up the lines. Some guys want to play with me. Some guys want to play against me. So it's awesome. And what's cool is that it's at Matt's Outback Paintball in Connecticut, and they run a tournament series, and they have a tournament series coming up this weekend, actually. So we've been practicing the layout, and a lot of the guys that are on teams that are participating in this have been showing up to the Wednesday nights, and I've given them different breakouts and helping them with strategies and whatnot. So it's gone really good. And one thing I like to do is I always like to give back. People that are coming out trying to step up their game and play with me, play against me. I always try to do some raffles at the end of the day where I hook people up with jerseys, some of my old gear. And then, you guys were nice enough to sponsor last Wednesday's practice with the pros, we call it. And unfortunately, the packets didn't make it.
Damn,
which it did make it now. It is here.
Yeah.
But we were able to print out some pictures, and we pulled some names from the hat, and we let the guys kind of pick what they wanted. So it was pretty cool. One of the guys with the Yukon jersey on was actually talking about how he needed knee pads, and then he ended up winning a pair. So it was pretty cool.
There you go.
There you go. Yeah. Well, it was one of those things like Billy and I were texting. I'm like, dude, maybe we can get it to stop somewhere. You can pick it up, but like the package just was not meant to make it in time. But that just leads us into getting some feedback from these guys next week. So we have to tune in, get some reviews from these dudes, and hopefully they, are able to share that and let everybody know what they think of the gear.
Absolutely. I mean, it started out, we used to get 10 people on a Wednesday night. We were up to averaging 40 people on a Wednesday night playing paintball, which is awesome. And the 3 guys that won are actually 3 guys that are there every week. So it'll be nice to, hook them up with the product at the beginning of the day, and then get some feedback for you guys at the end of the practice. So
I like this dude in the background, like photo.
Yeah, so
he's more excited than the guys that won.
This dude, all right, backstory. This dude has been he's been there every Wednesday as well, and he's been dying for Billy Bernacchia X Factor jersey, and he was the winner of the X Factor jersey. He's holding it up. He's pretty stoked.
Yeah, you can see it.
So he wanted to jump in the
right.
picture. So he came in and got some, but
well deserved.
Yeah, it's awesome. I mean, I even got a couple of the Hurricanes that come down. They help out a little bit too. Thomas Mantoni's a longtime friend of mine and yours. So he's been coming out, and we even have guys taking photos. I mean, we have Vic Photography, and
man, these are awesome photos.
Oh yeah,
buddy Mikey is out there. He's taking pictures. It feels like a weekend, which is awesome. So
that's what I was gonna say. Like that many people on a Wednesday night is pretty cool, and getting paintball in during the weekend sometimes is better for people because the weekends can get crazy with family life and just real life stuff in general. So getting out there for a little midweek break sounds amazing.
Yeah, it's nice. We actually have something similar going on over at X Factor. We historically had done Wednesday night drill nights for a while. Grayson was running them. I was helping out back in 2012, 2013. And it just kind of went away from it. And, recently there's been a just resurgence of people wanting to come out during the week. And it kind of became, something that I was inviting people out just privately to come out, play one-on-ones with me, do drills with me, whatever. So talked to Billy the other day actually, and we were kind of doing a trial run. He was out there doing the same thing with his guys, and I just decided to pull the trigger and bring it back. Al was out here this past Wednesday with me, and I mean, we were just running 5-on-5s on the USXBL layout, which is going to be coming out, or the tournament's happening in 2 weeks or next week. I'm sorry, but yeah, that's going to be at X Factor. So big regional series that's going on, and we'll be hosting that. So we was just able to get some 3-on-3s, 5-on-5s, some 1-on-1 drills with the guys that came out and wanted some guidance. So it's been good, and it's great to give back and be able to help out and meet the people who really just want to get out there and learn, and get better.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. I mean, that being said, it's so hectic on the weekends sometimes that you can't really take the time to help the guys, that are looking for help. So it's cool that on a Wednesday night, it's not as hectic, and, you can have conversations, you can, look at the field a little longer with a guy, and, you could really help people's games. So it's pretty cool.
And those experiences alone, I mean, guys love that, when they're able to just get out there and, meet a professional and walk through the field and just be able to pick, Billy or I's brain. It's that means a lot to them. That means the most, just to have that experience and,
they're like shooting us too, man. Don't get me wrong. Yeah. Some of these guys have been getting pretty good, and they're up and coming for sure. There's a couple guys I've been watching. I've been pushing a little bit harder because I see the potential in them. So it's pretty cool. Connecticut is not really as known for paintball the way Texas or California is, but it's starting to really grow, and Matt's Outback is doing a good job of developing these lower division teams that are playing in their OPS tournaments that are eventually becoming national level teams. So it's good to see for me because it's so close to home.
Yeah. And that means the most too, when, you're able to see someone who has worked with you over time just excel and grow within the game and just level up really over the years. And it's amazing seeing the pool of players that we have over in Texas, and seeing guys like who were like kids just now 5 years later, growing up and, competing on the national level and winning. Just seeing kids that I've worked with over the years just excelling now and making teams across Texas, playing professionally now, that's cool. Just seeing people really chase their dreams and become great players.
Yeah, it's crazy to see how, obviously AC Dallas is now pro team, and
Diesel.
There's just there's a lot of, Diesel. Sorry, same, right? Like the whole that whole field camp. And the whole vibe, like those guys have been grinding for a long time, and we always see them whenever we go practice AC Dallas, and they're out there grinding real hard too, so. It is amazing to realize how many teams from Texas are still out there and growing. And even I do agree that definitely when you get those like street ball style practices where you can actually just play with random guys, and they can ask you questions and you can give them direct feedback because you're literally just played a point with them. Like that's a whole different level than just doing kind of like a clinic. I feel like a lot of times clinics can be very structured and kind of like, it's hard to sometimes get that real,
the one-on-one experience.
Yes. Depending on how big the clinic is. But I mean, anybody who's played with me before locally, they've always been like, hey, do you have any suggestions for this or anything about that? And I always try to give an honest answer and be as transparent as I can. Like, even if they did something real bad, I'm like, hey, what were you thinking there? Like, walk me through it. That kind of stuff is definitely hands down. You can't get that anywhere else. But I think the Wednesday night type thing is something that I've always really liked doing. I did that. Yeah.
Yeah, I was just going to say it's tough with a clinic because, you're doing drills that you're setting up and you're running through them so fast. And on these Wednesday nights, it's cool because these guys are watching you play and they're mimicking what you're doing, and then you're watching them as well, so you're able to give them feedback. So it's just a whole different ball game than what a clinic would be. So.
And depending on the series that's going on or whatever event's coming up, you're normally practicing on the layout. So you're able to dissect it and just break down, depending on what they play, just walking them through, what the position they're playing, the reads, what you should be doing, all that stuff, the strategy for the field. So that experience alone really helps.
Yep. So with I didn't even realize this until literally like right before we were going to do the show, but I guess the Pro Tour is on today, so there's live paintball going on. Jesse, obviously you've been playing in the Ultimate Shootout format, which is brand new, and I'm sure you aren't able to disclose too much information since it hasn't been released yet, but I watched the first couple and I'm like, man, this is pretty cool. It's exciting to see, a different style format. It's not just your traditional one-on-one where you just play straight up,
there's
just paintball.
There's different objectives, there's multiple different strategies and things you can go about playing it. But it was really fun, to be honest. They did make me sign a non-disclosure, so I can't tell too much, but as you can see from the first few episodes, there's a lot of different things going on with it. And, for me, for how I wanted to approach and play it, the longer you went on in the tournament, it just got harder and harder, just because, if you're really trying to play cat and mouse with the guy and run around and do all kinds of stuff, you could play up to, 15, 20 points, with a minute turnaround and that in one match, so. By the end of the tournament, you're playing 50, 60 points. So
and if you haven't seen it before, obviously go check it out on Go Sports. But I think what a lot of people don't realize is the whole tournament is recorded in one day, right?
Yes.
1 or 2 days, I guess. I don't know. But
we did it in one
like
day.
You said, you're doing it all in one day, and it's quick turnaround time. Looks legit. You are playing a lot of points. So the cardio aspect's got to be up there for sure. Obviously, like you said, you can't give us any details on what happens, but I just wanted to ask you like what you really thought about the format itself of having the different buzzers, and the kill streak is pretty interesting.
Yeah.
And even just the aspect of like Ryan Brand was there coaching for you and for Meter, and then you had Paulie there, but like there's a lot of different things going on, like you said. So like
a lot of different dynamics.
What was your overall feel of just the actual format itself?
I loved it. I mean, going forward, I think paintball needs that. Paintball has needed some kind of one-on-one format, where maybe, and I know the Pro Tour is more of just like a straight gunfight. There's just temples on the field. It's kind of straightforward, but with this one, it was kind of a different look because you have the buzzers and they change up the layouts. I mean, I'm sure the field dimensions are somewhat similar, but there's a lot of different dynamics for the Ultimate Shootout, and just how everyone kind of approached it. Each person's take on it or their strategy for it was different in, small ways, but overall it was great, and it's only going to get better going forward. They'll only tweak and adjust certain things with the format and make it better. So I'm honestly really excited. I'm going to try and do the fourth one or the fifth one, whichever one is going to come up after this next one. But I'm very excited, to be honest, because they really only, they told us like a few weeks out that it was happening. Alex told us, "Hey, we're playing one-on-ones," and then before you know it, we were all in a group chat, and they were telling us we're going to do this in 2 weeks. So it kind of happened.
It's going to be interesting when guys are able to start training for this now.
Exactly.
And they know how to practice it and they know the layout. I mean, I haven't gotten a chance to play it yet, and I am signed up to play one. I don't know which one it's going to be, but I will be out there for sure. But yeah, spoiler alert, I'm coming. But I mean, it looks like a fun game.
Billy's in it.
You know, it just looks like a fun game. Paintball, fucking running around, pressing buzzers, trying to score points. I mean, it looks awesome. You know, it looks entertaining. You know, and it's awesome for right now because we're not playing paintball tournaments. So,
and it's perfect because for years, you know, we've been trying to perfect the actual product of paintball, filming it, everything. And paintball is such a dynamic sport. There's so many things going on. There's no true focal point. With a one-on-one, it's a lot easier to watch. Anybody can 100%. Just turn this on and be able to follow it.
Any other sport, the camera's following the ball, you know, whether it's basketball, football, you know, soccer, and in paintball, there's so much stuff going on and it's really hard to capture. I mean, Go Sports has done, you know, a phenomenal job putting, you know, as many cameras on the field as they can. And, you know, it's still so hard to follow if you're not actually a paintball player. But the ultimate shootout for sure looks like something that anybody can turn on and be entertained.
Yeah. And so I was going to see what you thought, Billy, about the actual format itself too, and how you thought the overall feel of it was going to be as a front guy. You know, it's very aggressive. You normally are playing that front aggressive spot, just trying to get down the field and get kills. But with this, it's not just when I first heard, you know, there's going to be a one-on-one type style tournament, I was like, okay, cool, but it's a one-on-one. Like, how exciting could that be? But adding in the buzzers, adding in the kill streak, which Jesse, I don't know how many kills is it until you get the extra points?
3.
You get 3, and then it kicks in and it adds on 3 more points, and you get the 1 kill, or you get a point for the kill, so it would be 4 points, and then you get another one, so that's another 3. Or another 4 after that if you don't get shot. And if you do get shot, like if you trade, it resets everything. So it's really interesting. And I mean, just adding the different dynamics to that, where it's not just a strategy based on getting kills or just getting the buzzers. You know, there's multiple different things going on. And like I was gonna say, the players are mic'd up, so you get to hear the shit talking. It's more fun. It's more enjoyable to see. It's fun.
And, you know, you guys are on the same team. Obviously, the next episode you're playing against your teammate Meter. But, you know, the shit talking part of it is, you're on the same team, and we're all, for the most part, friends in the pro ranks. You know, there are some guys that rub you the wrong way or whatever. But, you know, it still is. Anybody who's played competitive sports, there's shit talking amongst your team pretty much no matter what. So some of that smack talk is legit.
All the guys who did episode 1, I mean, we've all played together on the same team at one point in time. I mean, it was all AC camp guys and X Factor guys. And to be honest, it was the younger guys. And we all played on AC together in 2015, 2016. Like in that little area of time, like everyone who was involved in the first show played on the same team together. So we've known each other going back years. I mean, everyone's friends. We're cool. But when we get on the field, of course, we're going to chirp a little bit. Clint and I were chirping the entire time. And, I mean, we go back years, and we've been friends to this day. So it's fun.
You know, it's entertainment. I mean, if you if you're around my age or, you know, Callie's age, you probably grew up watching WWE or WWF and that. And, I mean, what leads up to the fights, all the chirping, it's all the entertainment, it's fun. And then, you know, afterwards they're slapping hands and drinking beers in the locker room. So it's, it's entertainment. It's it.
Yeah.
So I'm excited for it. As soon as I saw it, I saw all the, pictures of the pro players coming up, and, you know, it's, you know, they post, you know, I'm in. So I sent Cena a message, and I was like, if you add a snake, I'm in. I don't know how you could add a snake in this. I don't know how you could, but, you know, maybe that buzzer's worth 6 points or something, you know?
Right.
I don't know. It can be done, but
yeah.
Either way, it'll it'll
I
be
wonder
interesting.
if they are going to change the layout. I mean, I thought the field layout was good.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
The trial run that they did, that they kind of gave us, some footage of to base everything off of and kind of get an idea of what was going to go on. That was a little more of a cluttered field. This one was pretty open to where you could defend the buzzers and, shoot guys through gaps a little easier. So, I mean, and they released the layout like a week, maybe 2. I can't remember exactly, but I mean, it wasn't too much time before the event was actually happening. Like, we didn't have a lot of time to practice on the layout. So for this next one coming up, they're probably going to do the same thing.
I do think that having the same layout though is kind of nice, because then you can get a judge for, with your group of competitors versus the other group of competitors. Like, if it's a different layout, then you're going to be like, well, that layout favored a front guy better than it did the other layout. So you don't get that same sense of like, measuring stick, which I think the Pro Tour is just the same bunkers, same layout, same everything. So that's just like pretty simple and straightforward. But, getting out there and playing, having the different format, I think that's great. Billy said he's going to be all in and he's going to play in one. So I'm wondering who's going to be.
I'm playing the next one. I mean, they told us whoever was in show 1 couldn't play in show 2. So I think J-Rab's going to be in the third one. So I want my crack at him. So I'll be getting ready. But it'll be good. Colt's in the next one.
Colt is in the next one. Yep.
Yeah. So here's the lineup for the next one.
Announced it.
All right. So you guys want to make predictions?
Yeah, I want to hear some predictions, and I also just wanted to hear what you guys think about like a back guy style versus a front guy style, like with Colt and Nick and Cody and like all these dudes.
I don't think it matters. It's it's hard to say because I haven't played it yet, but I don't know if speed is the way to go, or a guy like Cody who's hard to gun battle.
Yeah,
it's really a double.
I think both strengths are going to work. It's just a matter of what is executed that day. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, that's basically what it comes down to. There's multiple different strategies you can go about playing, but I mean, you can still shoot the guy and defend the buzzer and he can't get to it. And if you get your kill streak going, you can easily win that way. So there's multiple different schools of thought with this, but nice. I mean, I think Cody has a good chance to win this. Cody's a nasty gunfighter. He's a really good shot, and he's very mobile. I mean, it's not like he can't leave the back center. I mean, this guy feels all over the place at practice. You have a lot of squirrely guys who can get in there and play. I think Harrison will be good.
I think this is going to be a good episode. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of. Oh, let's go through it.
Not a lot of people.
Nick and Yaya is going to be super entertaining, in my opinion. I am definitely watching that episode. I'm going to pick Nick on this one, though, just because I don't know. I think Nick's coming off a big win in Vegas. He had a big one-on-one in our match against Archie, and he came through. So Nick's a strong gun battler. I mean, not to take anything away from Yaya. I think it's going to be a close match, but I'm going to pick Nick for my first pick. Cody against Berkeley. Berkeley's a good player too. I'm going to go
super tall.
I'm going to go with Cody on this one though, because Cody's one of the harder guys to battle in this league.
I bet you these two dudes
very
have played
gun
a lot
dominant
of one-on-ones though, because they came out of the same camp, so I feel like they probably played a lot of one-on-ones. Cody's one of the best one-on-one players I've ever seen play, especially being clutch in the game type scenarios. And obviously I'm going to root for my boys on my team. So
for sure,
Cody's definitely nasty.
I don't know Berkeley that well. I know he's definitely the guy we're always looking at when scouting TMG. So
he's their best player, dude. He's their best player by far their best player.
Yeah, but if I'm doing my fan wagon picks right now, I'm gonna pick Cody on that one. TJ against Harrison's a good match too. Win there. Cody and Nick.
Cody and Nick. Family.
I think they did this. I gotta say they probably set this up so this might happen.
They definitely did.
That I think that's pretty. I don't know who would win that one. I mean,
Who wants it more?
I don't know. I just want to know who Sam's going to root for.
I think that one could easily I think that one could get as easily as spicy as the and Nick one in general. Just like Cody and Nick, they're family, So if you don't know, Cody is married to Nick's sister, and they've been around each other playing paintball for a long time. Both really good, high-skilled players. Yeah. So that's going to be an interesting one to see how they attack the field. If they're both usually the back guys. So who knows if one decides to be a little bit more aggressive than the other? Or and I'm also wondering too, like playing your first game, if you run around a lot, how much it's going to really affect you in the turnaround for the next match. So that's also something to think about as well. But go ahead and let's hear your predictions for TJ and Harrison.
I'm going to go with TJ just because of the experience matter. I think TJ's super sneaky and he's a smart player. I think Harrison is definitely going to give him a match because he's probably going to, he wilds out. He's a, super quick dude, super, aggressive, but it could go either way. I'd probably pick TJ on this one, just based on experience alone.
What about you,
I think
Jesse?
this is kind of a toss-up. I mean, I think Harrison will come out and give him quite a few different looks, get a little wild and crazy, but TJ is one of the more intelligent players out there, and he's a very good one-on-one player, very good shot. So
I could see Harrison going for buzzers, and I could see TJ going for streaks.
Yeah, maybe playing to defend it a little more.
Yeah.
TJ was an announcer for the last one, so I feel like he's seen it a lot more.
Yeah, he's seen
probably
a
little bit more insight on the game itself and how to play certain areas a little bit better. But I also have seen Harrison one ball while falling backwards, doing a yoga pose, and still cyclops the guy. Yeah. So
Harrison can definitely pull some stuff off for sure.
And what was the rate of fire you guys were at?
12.
It seemed like it seemed faster than that just hearing it. But we're so used to 10 balls a second now.
Well, we were going to play on 13.3, bring it back to 2008, but we decided on 12. I think I'm going to go with TJ just because he maybe has a little more experience on the format, the layout, and knows how to play it out. And that's
kind of where my head's at too.
Yeah, I think he knows what he would want to do.
You guys know you're on an infamous show?
Voted for Cody.
Voted for Cody.
Yeah. We got Colt.
This is a challenge for Harrison, prove us wrong. Yeah. He needs to come out and give us something good.
Hey, I hope Harrison does win, honestly. I
could see him being the dark horse, honestly.
I play with him.
That's the funny thing, man, is like literally these matchups are tight, very tight.
Yeah.
It can be a coin flip, man. It really can be. You just never know. I mean, one guy comes out, just wants it a little more. Maybe the other guy's a little gassed from the previous match. You never know. So
now we got Coltimus in there.
I don't want to sound like a dick, but I don't even know who this other guy is.
Jeremy's been around for a while in the Texas scene. He actually beat Archie like 5 years ago in a one-on-one at Bunker Fest, like in 2012 or 2013. He's a really good player. I played with him for a while growing up. He's nasty. But Colt's been around for a while. Colt's our boy. Salty.
I got Colt fucking shutting this guy out.
See what happens.
20 to zip.
Shutout?
20 to zip.
20 to zip. Put it in the books. 20 to zip.
20 to zip.
All right.
I'm not gonna say it's gonna be a shutout, but I think Colt's.
Maybe this guy will get a buzzer or something, but he's not gonna shoot Colt.
You never know. You never know.
All right, so back to
Well,
Nick and Cody.
I think Colt is definitely one of those dudes that can play any kind of format of paintball. So I think
Absolutely.
he's going to have
You
the
know,
slight edge.
he's my pick.
Yep. So
Nick and Cody now.
who do you guys want to get in the fight? Who do you guys want to be in the finals? Who do you think would be best from either side here to see a matchup?
I think it's going to be Cody and Colt.
Yeah,
personally,
I was
if
thinking
I
the
had to
same
pick.
thing.
I think, man, it's tough because I would love. I don't know if I have to pick one, I'm going to pick Cody over Nick. I think it's going to be a really close match. I hope Nick wins because I love me some Nick Sloviak, but you know, I think it's all going to depend on who Sam's rooting for, and I think she's going to root for Cody. I'm putting it on her.
She'll probably be there
Yeah.
screaming in the background. Maybe
Probably.
she'll be the guest coach for the
There you
show.
go.
Yep.
Yeah, I think I could see Cody and Cole in the finals.
Yeah. I think the right side of the bracket. I think the right side of the bracket's a little more of a toss-up. I think Colt's definitely, favored over there, but there's a lot of guys who can be dark horses over there. TJ could show up, Harrison could show up, Jeremy could show up, but I'm favoring Colt. The opposite side, I think it's going to be Cody. I really do.
Cool.
I think he's just the better gunfighter across the board.
And we all know who's going to win that game, right?
Yeah, Cody, duh.
Ooh.
It'll be spicy.
Well, I know
it's
that
going to be a good game.
I know that Harrison was out there in Wisconsin with Cody playing some paintball. I think it was last weekend. I think they were practicing some of the format and the style, but it is pretty cool. I feel like you could go up to any field and try to play this same style and have. I will say that having like the cameras and the refs right there is important because there's a lot of bang bang split decision type stuff that you got to have some eyes on. But it definitely is exciting, and I think it's good for paintball. And definitely right now, getting any kind of paintball out there for people to, watch is huge. Which is one reason why we're doing this live show. Just to talk to people about paintball and make sure everybody's, going to be excited to get back out there. And we have ICC coming up not too far away from now, which is exciting.
Can't wait.
Yeah.
We got we're coming off the big win at the NXL Classic in was that in January? Jesus,
dude, seems like
feels like it,
yeah.
Lifetime ago.
Started out the year with a nice big 10-man victory.
Yep.
So we got to carry it over to the ICC.
I just remember we were talking about how we're like, man, that event's really early in the year, and I'm really glad they did it.
Same,
because otherwise
we probably wouldn't. Yeah,
it's nuts. And Vegas seems like it was forever ago. So
long ago.
I don't know about you guys, but I'm looking forward to get back into the tournament grind for sure. So
yeah, I'm already trying to figure out a weekend just to get out to Texas because as much as I love these Wednesday night, street ball practices, it's a different feeling when you got your boys out there with you. Yeah. It's funny too because like I picture this layout that we've been playing the past 4 weeks at Matt's Outback, and I've been kind of like laying it out like, oh, this tower would be perfect for a rainy. Jesse would power down these Doritos, it's crazy, and it just got me thinking like, man, I got to get to Texas. I got to get a practice in.
Well,
so
you're
hopefully
up
soon,
in New England, and like in that area, right up there northeast.
Oh.
Jesse's in Texas. I'm in Arkansas, but I'm not anywhere near any of my teammates. So it's real hard to get that kind of the team practice going. And for the teams that do live in the same area, that's a huge advantage to be able to get out and just practice with each other, and do some drills with each other. And I know, Jesse, you said you've been going out and playing, but
yeah, I try and play as much as I can.
Yeah.
and Al will just meet me out there. So
Callie,
yeah.
before we sign off, what's your prediction for Meter Jesse game coming up?
Yep.
When's that coming up?
What is
Putting
it?
the boys against it. I think
it's
Monday. They said the
Monday?
22nd,
Yeah, I think
right?
Monday.
Yeah, Monday.
Oh yeah. It is. It's going to be on Monday, and we got. Here you go. Whoops. Not that. Hey.
Hey.
I'll get it back up on there, but it is
So
going to be Monday. They changed the date. It was going to be.
Did they?
This.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So it's Meter
week,
and Jesse are coming up, and what was the other show? Was it Fuzzy and somebody?
Ryan. Yeah,
Fuzzy and Ryan Hall. That's going to be a good match too.
Yep.
Man, like I was thinking about this too, and I don't know who wins this match, obviously, because Jesse's not allowed to tell anybody. But man, it's got to be weird, Jesse, playing against your boy like that.
I know we were.
I was thinking about it, like, how would I feel if I matched up against Archie? It's like, man, Archie's been playing behind me for the past 8-9 years now.
Yeah,
it'd be weird to line up against them, and And that being said, like, I don't even know who I would pick in this one.
Yeah, and you just know each other. Like, every time I go up to Dallas, I'm staying multiple days with Meter, and we're just hanging out the whole time. So we just know each other so well. We know each other's play styles. So I will say it was a really great game. So everyone will enjoy it.
Thanks.
But
I was going to ask you what would you say to get people to tune in to watch this matchup?
I mean, I think we're two of the best paintball players out there. So why wouldn't you want to watch? You get to see us playing in a one-on-one format. That's exciting. We're able to talk shit to each other. Why not watch it? I mean, what else are you doing? So like,
tune in.
It's just,
check it out.
it's just fun. I mean, I think this format is just great for what we have going on right now. I mean, just
who did Ryan coach for this game?
That's
he didn't. He commentated. He commentated.
Yeah, I figured.
Yeah.
I figured he would.
Do you think having a coach right there on the sidelines is beneficial?
It definitely helps, but I think the one thing I will say is it gets to when you get deeper in the tournament, and as you're going on and you're starting to get fatigued and stuff, it kind of maybe sometimes it's a little bit like information overload just with the one-on-one, because I mean he's just feeding me basics. What
could he feed you other than points and you get a buzzer and a kill, you're up this many, hey, kill streak's up, go for the kill, go for the buzzer,
stuff
that
like
kind of advice is definitely probably good, and something you're not thinking about because you're turning around so fast. But it's not like he could sit there and tell you a breakout, go
for
this
sure.
way, go that way,
for
go
sure.
for this one,
Which Ryan did an awesome job just, letting us know, like, hey, he's maybe favoring his right hand here a little bit more. Watch for this. You're at this spot in the kill streak or whatever. He's up. Don't go for it. It's not worth
exactly.
Play out the one-on-one.
Hey, it's worth the risk. Hey, it's worth the risk to go for the buzzer on this one, or no, don't go for the buzzer. It's it's probably easy. It takes a load off your mind not having to think about the score either.
It does, and I mean he was keeping track of everything.
Yeah,
he was keeping track of everything and letting us know. Just as it went on, you're getting more and more tired, and coaches in your ear. So it's just a lot to keep track of, and things change so fast out there. I mean, if he decides to do something else, you kind of just have to read and react, and that's basically how this format played out anyway. A lot of it's just read and react anyway. It's a one-on-one. If he does this, you got to kind of formulate something else, put it together. But no, It was great. It was great. He was just basically like a boxing coach. He's just telling me, what I need to know, just in the corner, and then go out there, play the next one. And those points were going by fast. You had to go back there to that little check-in station or whatever. You had to go in there to actually play the next point, or they would penalize you. And you had about a 60-second turnaround. So
Really?
that was it, dude. It got intense. Like as the tournament got on, it was just a grinder, and it was hot.
Yep.
It was scorching. Yeah. So later in the afternoon, you're just like, oh god, here we go. You know.
Yeah.
Another one.
Cool.
Well, it's exciting. I'll definitely be tuning in, and I'm sure it's hard for you not to disclose anything. And I don't really want you to.
Yeah, I want to talk about it.
I want to watch it.
Yeah, exactly. But I wanted to say thanks, guys, for jumping on here. This is pretty cool, and I appreciate it. And is there anything that you guys wanted to throw out there before we do sign off?
For sure. I mean, thanks for having us on for sure. And, I'm glad that we were able to build this relationship between X Factor and Infamous, because we've been practicing you guys for a while. And, some of us are guesting with you for 10 man. So it's awesome that we're a part of the Pro DNA now. And, we appreciate it. And
it's awesome that our team
see what's next.
Yeah, it's awesome that our teams have such a great relationship and we're able to play with each other in different formats and, win tournaments together. That's awesome. So, and, we love having you guys as a sponsor. The pads are awesome. Being able to practice you guys before each tournament is awesome. It's always really productive. Good
practices, great field, can't complain there for sure. So, yep. So I just wanted to sign off real quick and say thank you to all the sponsors that help run the team or get the team, to point A and point B. We got Planet Eclipse for the best guns, Pro Sharp Paint shoots awesome, Push for the goggles, Nike for the cleats, Bunker Kings for the loaders and packs, Powerhouse for the regs, Foundation for the wearable heated technology during those off seasons, First Form for the supplements. And that is all. So thanks, guys. Thanks for tuning in, and I will catch you guys later.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks, Kelly.